Welcome back to the Gallery Wall Quilt Along. I'm Carolina Moore and this is week 4. We are doing Unit C this week. And Unit B last week was a lot of work, but this week is going to be pretty smooth sailing. So it's no problem. If you're still catching up from last week, also not a problem because this week we're taking it a little easier with Unit C. If you're new around here, we are doing a 6-week sew along of the Gallery Wall Quilt, which is a quilt that I designed, and I'm taking you step by step through how to make this quilt from cutting all the way through finishing your quilt top. For this sew along, I have the by land version, and there are coloring sheets if you'd like to make your own version. On the front of the pattern, you'll see the by sea version, and both are fabulous and I just love them. But we're doing this by land version here, and it uses Spirited and Earthen by Art Gallery Fabrics, and those are by Sharon Holland and Katerina Rochella respectively. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in here with Unit C, open up my bag with all the pieces that we cut out in week 1 and that we sorted by unit so that we would be all ready to go. By the way, at the end of last week, I took those last 2 half square triangles and I went ahead and put them in the Unit D bag because that's where they belong. We're going to be using those last 2 half square triangles in Unit D. Okay, so here we have our Unit C. We have our background pieces. Generally, those background pieces are kept till last, so I'm just going to set them aside. Then we have our frame 2, which is tan. It's tan on the pattern, and our frame 1, which is dark gold on the pattern. And then we have our center pieces. We have 2 larger pieces, and I still have them pinned. So these are fabrics 3 and 2 from the original cutting instructions. And I want to give these a quick press because they've been sitting on my table for a little while and they got a little creasy, and that's okay. Just a quick hit with the iron and I'll get that all fixed up. So I have these, and I also have 3 small ones. Now I know that these 4 small pieces and these 4 a little bit larger pieces go with that. And then also in my other color, I have 2 and 2. So all of this is going to go together. I'm going to set that aside because that's going to be the 3rd step of our instructions. And we're going to start off by making these 2 large frames. So I'm going to refer back to my coloring sheet, and this blue is for the horses, and the, what are we calling this, kind of a rust color, is for the branches. And these also need a quick hit with the iron. Now for both of these, I'm just putting the sides on first and then the top and bottom. So I'm going to take the top and bottom, put that aside, got my sides, grab these, give my top and bottom a press in the middle, and my sides are good. So for this, I can do a quick bit of chain piecing right on my machine. I'll start adding these sides. Okay, now that I have these done, I can press the side seams and add the top and bottom. tops and bottoms on, we'll go ahead and give this a press. And then on the one with the smaller borders, we're going to add a piece of background on the left. This is my larger one. How cool is that? So I'm going to go ahead and just set that aside. And this is my smaller one. I'm going to press it and then add the piece of background. Now that piece of background is going to go on the left. You need to decide if your frame has a top and a bottom. Okay, I think I've decided. Now press this, and we are ready for our little small frames. Okay, set this aside and figure out these small frames. Now I do have my colored sheet that tells me where all my pieces are going. Because I've already made these decisions, I'm just putting things where I already decided they were going. So I've got my blue on my middle and my brown is going on my outsides. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this blue and put it on the middle, and that way I can't make a mistake. This one has already been marked. And also double check to see if there's any directionality. Which way do you want these to face? Do you feel like there's a top or a bottom? And make sure you do that now. Okay, so now we're going to put our blue on. And that means by process of elimination, the other two get brown. Now that they have sides on, let me cut some of these extra threads away. I can press these open, and then I'm just going to add the tops and bottoms to these. We've done this before. It's super simple. Let me put them back in order. And remember, the long strips are going on the top and the shorter ones on the side. And now I have two of these to add on here. And we are already nearing the end of Unit C. That means just one more unit to stitch up before we put it all together. So here is our bottom row, and then we have two of these background pieces left. The skinnier one's going to go on top of the bottom row, and then the thicker one is going to go on top of our smaller or I guess our middle size of the 3 sets of frames, because these are the small frames. So this skinny is going on top. And then while I'm at it, I can go ahead and stitch the thicker one to this frame. I want to make sure that that background is on the left-hand side, and then stitch this on. So no need to press because all of these seams are horizontal. I'm just going to stitch all these horizontal seams and then iron them all at once. Pull up, press your foot up. Double check that it's all coming together correctly. And then put this last piece on. This is directional, so I want to make sure the feet of my horses are in the direction of this background strip. There we go. Unit C, all complete. I'm just going to give this a quick press before I tuck it away, and I will see you back here next week for Unit D. And that's the last unit before we put this whole quilt together. If you haven't already, make sure you've given this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. I've put all the links you need in the description box, so look for that below as well. And make sure you're subscribed to this channel. You press that subscribe button and the bell, and you'll be one of the first to know when the next video is up. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week when we do week 5, which is Unit D, and the last unit in making this quilt top. See you next week.